The Dreamy Cat Bus. Chapter 1. The Night of the Silver Moon. Once upon a time, in a quiet little town with cobblestone streets and sleepy rooftops, there lived a 4-year-old girl named Lila Bloom. Lila had a round face like a peach, hair that curled into little question marks, and a pair of eyes that sparkled whenever she found something curious. Every night, before bed, she would sit by her window and look at the moon. But tonight, something felt different. The moon wasn't just round and white. It was shimmering silver, as if it had been polished by a giant spoon in the sky.
That's strange,
Lila whispered, pressing her nose against the glass. Then she saw it. From the far end of the street came a soft purr, low and steady, like a cat, but much, much bigger. The sound grew louder, and then tap, tap, tap went something huge and furry against the cobblestones. And there it was, a bus, but not an ordinary bus. Its body was covered in velvety orange and cream fur. Its headlights were 2 enormous golden cat eyes. Its wheels were soft padded paws, and its tail swished happily behind it. On its roof, tiny chimney-like ears twitched in the moonlight. Painted on its side in shiny letters were the words, "The Dreamy Cat Bus Special Moonlight Service Passengers. Welcome." The bus stopped right in front of Lila's house. The door shaped like a cat's mouth opened with a friendly "Mrow." Chapter 2. All Aboard. A gentle, deep voice spoke.
"Good evening, Miss Lila Bloom. I'm Whiskerton, your conductor for tonight's journey."
Lila's jaw dropped. The voice came from inside the bus's mouth from Whiskerton, a tall, dignified cat in a neat conductor's cap. His fur was gray, except for a patch shaped like a map of clouds across his back.
Me? But it's bedtime,
Lila squeaked. Whiskerton nodded politely.
"Indeed, the perfect time for a dream ride. Step aboard and don't forget your imagination. It's your ticket."
Lila clutched her stuffed rabbit, Mr. Hops, and tiptoed outside in her polka dot pajamas. The moment she stepped onto the bus, the air changed. It smelled like warm milk and honey biscuits, and the seats were soft cushions that purred when you sat down. Chapter 3. The First Stop. The Cloud Playground.
"First stop, Cloud Playground,"
Whiskerton announced, and the cat bus's paws began to pad softly into the night sky. They rose higher and higher until the rooftops looked like tiny hats and the street lamps were glowing marbles. When the bus stopped, Lila gasped. They were surrounded by giant cottony clouds, shaped like bunnies, castles, and giant ice cream cones. Children from all over the world bounced and slid across them, giggling as the clouds puffed beneath their feet. A freckled boy waved to Lila. "Come on! This cloud is shaped like a pirate ship!" Lila giggled, climbing onto the fluff. She learned that clouds weren't just soft, they could change shape if you whispered your wish. She whispered,
a dragon, please.
And suddenly the cloud beneath her stretched into wings and a long neck, gently carrying her across the sky. When it was time to leave, Whiskerton rang a soft bell.
"All aboard. We mustn't miss the Moonberry Market."
Chapter 4. The Moonberry Market. The cat bus landed in the middle of a bustling night market floating just below the moon. Lanterns shaped like teapots drifted in the air, glowing gold. Stalls sold moonberries that sparkled like tiny stars, cloud candy that melted into laughter, and dream seeds that promised to grow into whatever you imagined. Lila traded a giggle, yes, a real giggle, for a bag of moonberries. Careful, warned the shopkeeper, a plump raccoon in a vest. One bite and you might float away. Lila popped one into her mouth, and whoosh! Her feet lifted off the ground. She giggled harder, spinning in the air until Whiskerton caught her with his tail. "Safe travels, Miss Bloom," the raccoon called. Chapter 5. The Forest of Whispering Tales. Next, the cat bus padded softly into a forest where every tree was shaped like a cat's tail, long, curling, and covered in fur. The tails swayed gently, making a sound like whispers.
They're telling stories. If you listen closely, you might learn a secret,
Whiskerton explained. Lila pressed her ear to a silvery tail and heard, "Be brave, little one, and kindness will always find its way back to you." She didn't know why, but it made her heart feel warm, as if someone had wrapped her in a hug. Chapter 6. The Midnight Rescue. As they left the forest, they heard a faint meow. In the distance, a tiny star was falling not down to earth, but sideways, tangled in a net of spider silk clouds.
That's a star kitten. They light the paths for dream travelers. Without her, someone might lose their way tonight,
Whiskerton said gravely. Without hesitation, Lila stood.
We have to help her.
The cat bus swished its tail and raced toward the trapped star. Lila climbed onto the roof, holding tight as they drew closer. She reached out with Mr. Hops and gently untangled the kitten. The star kitten purred, her fur glowing like sunlight on water. "Thank you, dream traveler," she whispered, brushing her tiny nose against Lila's cheek. "If you ever need me, look for the brightest star." Chapter 7. Home Before Dawn. The cat bus padded softly back toward Lila's street, the first hints of morning painting the horizon. Whiskerton tipped his hat.
Your first journey is complete, Miss Bloom. You've been a fine passenger.
Lila yawned.
Will I see you again?
The conductor's eyes twinkled.
As long as you keep your imagination close, you'll always find the Dreamy Cat Bus.
Lila stepped off the bus, and in the blink of an eye, it was gone. Only the faint purr of distant paws remained. She climbed back into bed, hugging Mr. Hops. Outside her window, the brightest star winked at her. The end, or just the beginning? From that night on, Lila always kept her imagination ticket tucked under her pillow. And sometimes, when the moon was silver and the night was quiet, she swore she could hear the gentle purr of the Dreamy Cat Bus coming down the street.